So I want to begin with a bhajan, which is Śrī Radhika, which is composed by Srila Rupa Goswami, in which he is glorifying Srimati Radharani. Someone can share that on the screen. This is Śrī Radhika Stava by Srila Rupa Goswami. Prana Prabhu, you have joined with laptop?
No, Prabhuji, I don't join laptop.
Achha. Okay. Ravindra Prabhu, you can share the song?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Which one, Prabhuji?
Radhe Jai Jai Madhav Deita. It is not possible for a conditioned soul to glorify Srimati Radharani. But we can always follow in the footsteps of our acharyas. And the foremost of the acharya for Krishna consciousness movement is Srila Rupa Goswami. So by his composition, by his glorification, we will try and glorify Srimati Radharani. Śrī Rādhā Aṣṭamī Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Śrī Rādhā Partha Sārthi Bhagwan ki jai. Śrī Nitāy Gaur Sundar ki jai. Śrī Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Śrī Lakshmi Narsimdev Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Śrī Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe Hari Nisputta Vrindaviti Hari Nisputta Vrindaviti Hare Jaya Jaya Madhava Hare Jaya Jaya Madhava Vrishabhanudadi Navashashi Leke Vrishabhanudadi Navashashi Leke Lalita Sakhi Gunaramita Vishake Lalita Sakhi Gunaramita Vishake Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Śrī Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Karunam Kuru Mai Karunam Bharite Karunam Kuru Mai Karunam Bharite Janaka Sanatana Nitya Charite Sanaka Sanatana Varanita Charite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Śrī Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gokula Taruni Mandala Gokula Taruni Mandala Bhante Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Śrī Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Śrī Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Srimati Radharani ki jai. So this composition as I said, is by Srila Rupa Goswami. And Srila Rupa Goswami is glorifying the position of Srimati Radharani. He says that one aspect that we will discuss today, in continuation of Srimati Radharani's appearance, that she increases the joy of Krishna. Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe. So, she is always in this mood of increasing the pleasure of Krishna. You can close the share too. You can close the screen share in the room. So here Srila Rupa Goswami is saying how she increases the pleasure of Krishna. He says that you dress yourself in such a way so as to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment to you. That is Vardhana Veshe. Vesh means the appearance or what she wears. So she dresses herself in such a way that she increases the bliss and the joy of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, here it is being mentioned in his form as Damodar, his love and attachment for Srimati Radharani, who is the queen of Vrindavan. Vrindavan nation. She is Vrindavaneshwari. So she increases the pleasure for the Lord when the Lord wants to enjoy in the groves of Vrindavan. She is like a new moon. When the new moon appears, it is very radiant. So, Srila Rupa Goswami is comparing her appearance as the rising of the new moon. O new moon, who arises from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. Vrishabhanu Dadhi. Abdi means the ocean. So she is arising from the ocean. As if the new moon, have you seen the moon rise on the seashore? It seems that the moon is arising from the ocean. If you go to Puri, you can see that. So here is comparing, he is arising from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu. Vrishabhanu Dadhi, and she is Nava Shashi. Shashi means the moon. So Nava means the new moon. As the new moon arises from, it seems that it is arising from the ocean. So similarly, she has appeared. What is the place of appearance of Srimati Radharani? Anyone remembers the place of appearance of Srimati Radharani? Srimati Radharani eternally resides in 4 places. Yeah. Yes, Sonika?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Raval.
Yes, in Raval. She appears in Raval. And she is also always present in other 3 places. Anyone know what are the other 3 places where Srimati Radharani is always present? So here it is being said that Vrishabhanu Dadhi Navashashi Leke. So like the new moon which arises from the ocean. So she has appeared from the family of King Vrishabhanu. So she is always there in Barsana. She is there in Raval. And she is also there in other 2 places. What are the other 2 places? Krishna also is present in 4 places. Although Krishna is omnipresent, but 4 prominent places he manifests himself. Srimati Radharani also manifests herself in 4 places. One is Raval, the other is Varsana. What are the other 2 places? Yes, Sonika?
Prabhuji, Vrindakund.
Not Vrindakund. Vrindakund is the abode of Vrinda Devi. but she is at Rādhā Kund. Srimati Radharani also has her Kund, which is considered to be the topmost place in the abode of the realm of Braja, that is Rādhā Kund. And there is one more place where she is present. Anyone knows? We have covered 3. What is the 4th place? Rupa Goswami is already mentioning in this Radhika Stava. She is always in Vrindavan. She is Vrindavaneshwari. So she is there in these 4 places. Raval, in Barsana, at Rādhā Kund, and also at Vrindavan. So here, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that you have arisen from the ocean of King Vishvanu, and she is Dalita Sakhi Guna Ramita Vishakhi. She is the friend of Dalita Devi and Ramita Vishakhi. You makes Vishakha loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness. And what we should all, as aspiring devotees, as struggling devotees, we should be seeking from Srimati Radharani. In the final verse, Sri Rupa Goswami is saying that Karunam Karumai, Karunam. That, O Srimati Radharani, you are filled with compassion. Your divine characteristics are described by the great sages, Sanaka Sanatana Varinit Charita. O most merciful Radharani, please be merciful to me. Every day we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And what is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Srila Prabhupada explains to us. This is like a genuine prayer, the genuine crying of a child calling for his mother. And who is that mother? That mother is Srimati Radha. So we will continue our study and trying to understand the glorious position of Srimati Radharani from Caitanya-Caritāmṛta. From where we were yesterday, we will continue further from Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter 4. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Śrī Caitanya-Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sadivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Rādhā Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paśhata Deshatane. Jayo Jayo Śrī Caitanya Jayo Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So yesterday we discussed on this aspect of what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is very profusely and very emphatically mentioning, that Radha Krishna Eka Atma Dui De Dhari Anyo Anya Vilasa Rasa Aswadane Kari. That Srimati Radharani and Krishna are one and the same. But they have Ek Atma, but Dui De Dhari. They have assumed two bodies. And what is the purpose? What is the reason behind that? One is becoming two, to enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. And in that discussion, we understood that the Supreme Lord has the spiritual potency, which also has three divisions: Samvit Shakti, Sandhini Shakti, and the Ladhini Shakti. And Srimati Radharani represents the Ladhini Shakti. That potency that gives pleasure to Krishna and that nourishes all the devotees. So further, Kaviraj Goswami is explaining. So now he is explaining about the Ladhini Shakti, that is represented by Srimati Radharani. Ladhini Resara premises, verse number 68. Payar number 68 of Ādi-līlā chapter 4, which is entitled The Confidential Reasons for the Appearance of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Ladhini Rasara Prema, Prema Sara Bhav, Havera Parama Kashta Nama Mahabhav. So the essence of the Ladhini potency is love of God. That is what Srimati Radharani is composed of. She is only composed of love for Krishna. And the essence of the love of God is emotion or bhav. So this is what Kaviraj Goswami is explaining. And the ultimate development of the emotion is Mahabhav. So Srimati Radharani is that Mahabhav Swarupini. We will understand from Srila Prabhupada's purport. The product of the Ladhini Shakti is love of Godhead, which has two divisions, namely pure love of Godhead and adulterated love of Godhead. Only when the Ladhini Shakti emanates from Sri Krishna and is bestowed upon the living entities or the living beings to attract him, does the living being become a pure lover of God. So we see in this material existence, very few people have attraction for Krishna. The others do not have. Mass of men and women do not have any attraction for Krishna. So what is the reason? So Prabhupada is explaining, when the Ladhini Shakti emanates from Sri Krishna and is bestowed upon the living being to attract him, does the living being become a pure love of God. So when Srimati Radharani's merciful glance, or when Srimati Radharani's mercy falls upon the jiva, the living entity, then only in his heart there is any attraction towards Krishna. Otherwise, he remains attracted or distracted by the illusionary energy, by Maya Shakti. He does not find any attraction in Krishna. But when the same Ladhini Shakti is adulterated by the external material energy and emanates from the living being, it does not attract Krishna. So that is it. So unless and until one receives the blessing of Srimati Radharani, one can have no attraction for Krishna or for devotional life or for devotional service. On the contrary, the living being becomes attracted to the glamour of the material energy. As that time, instead of becoming mad with love of Godhead, the living being becomes mad after material sense enjoyment. And because of his association with the qualitative mode of material nature, he is captivated by its interactions of distressful, unhappy feelings. So in conclusion, that unless and until one receives the blessings or the mercy of Srimati Radharani, one cannot have any enthusiasm, any inclination, or any attraction toward Krishna or spiritual life. Further, Mahabhava Swarupa Śrī Rādhā Thakurani Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Śrī Rādhā Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhava. So Bhav, Mahabhav, there are many stages. I will not discuss that because that is a very deep discussion. So Srimati Radharani is the epitome of the highest bhav or the emotion for her deep love towards Krishna. No one has that Mahabhav. She is the only one who has developed such sentiments and emotions towards Krishna. And here Kaviraj Goswami is saying that she is Swarupa, Mahabhav Swarupa, Śrī Rādhā Thakurani. That she is the embodiment of Mahabhav. And Sarva Gun Khani, that means she is the reservoir. Bhajya Prabhupada says that she is the repository of all good qualities. What are the good qualities? Devotional qualities, transcendental qualities. And Krishna Kanta Shiromani. And she is the crest jewel among all the lovely consorts of Lord Krishna. So we understood yesterday that she is the Adi Shakti. She is the original Swarupa Shakti or the internal energy. So what it means, we will get to know today. The unadulterated action of Ladini Shakti is displayed in the dealing of the damsels of Raja and Srimati Radharani, who is the topmost participant in that transcendental group. The essence of the Ladini Shakti is love of Godhead, and the essence of love of God is bhav or transcendental sentiment. And the highest pitch of that bhav is called Mahabhav. Srimati Radharani is the personified embodiment of these three aspects of transcendental consciousness. She is therefore the highest principle in love of Godhead and is the supreme lovable object of Shri Krishna. So it will become more clear as we go ahead. Tayor api ubhyor madhe radhika sarvatadhika mahabhava swarupeyam gunerati gunera ati varishyasi. So amongst all the gopis, the foremost and the topmost are the two gopis. Of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhav and she surpasses all in good qualities. So there are hundreds and thousands and millions of the damsels of Raja, Gopika. And all those Gopikas are the expansion from Srimati Radharani. So obviously Srimati Radharani supersedes all of them. But not just because she is the source and others are emanating from her, but the reason why she supersedes everyone or she excels everyone is because of her good qualities. What are the good qualities? It will come. This is a quotation from Srila Rupa Goswami's Ujjwal Nilamani. Krishna Prema Bhavita Yara Chittendra Kaya Krishna Nija Shakti Radha Krira Sahaya. So what is her mood or that transcendental sentiment? Why she has that Mahabhav which no one else? The reason here Kaviraj Goswami says is Krishna Prema Bhavita. Her mind, her senses, her bodies are steeped in love for Krishna. So she is called Krishnamayi. Krishnamayi means that her entire existence, her entire constituents, or her entire composition is as a love to increase love for Krishna. And here Kaviraj Goswami is saying her mind, her senses, her body are steeped in love for Krishna. So she is Krishna Prem Bhavita. And she is Chittendriya Kaya. She is Krishna's own energy. This we have discussed yesterday. Krishna Nija Shakti Radha. And what is her sole purpose? Kidara Sahaya. She helps Krishna in his pleasurable pastimes in his Leelas, Krida Rasa. Srimati Radharani is fully spiritual as Krishna. No one should consider her to be material. She is definitely not like the conditioned souls who have material bodies, gross and subtle, covered by material senses. She is all spiritual, and both her body and her mind are of the same spiritual embodiment. So there is no difference. Like we have our gross body, we have our subtle body. Our gross body is made of the 5 elements, the 5 basic elements, Panch Mahabhut. And then our gross body is comprising of the material mind, the material intelligence, and the false ego. And then we have our soul. But she does not have all this categorization. So Prabhupada is explaining, because her body is spiritual, her senses are also spiritual, thus her body, mind, and senses fully shine in love of Krishna. She is the personified Ladini Shakti, the pleasure-giving energy of the Lord's internal potency. And therefore, she is the only source of enjoyment for Shri Krishna. She is the only source of enjoyment for Shri Krishna. That means Krishna cannot enjoy without Srimati Radharani. Prabhupada says that Shri Krishna cannot enjoy anything that is internally different from him. Therefore, Radha and Shri Krishna are identical. The Sandhini portion of Shri Krishna's internal potency has manifested the all-attractive form of Shri Krishna, and the same internal potency in the Ladini feature has presented Srimati Radharani, who is the attraction for all attractive. So Krishna is Sarv Akarshan, he is all attractive. But that all attractive becomes attracted by Srimati Radharani. So her name is also called Madan Mohan Mohini. Krishna as Madan Mohan, he captivates everyone. But one who is the captivator of everyone, he gets captivated by one. And that one is Srimati Radharani. So here, Prabhupada is saying, in the Ladini feature, as presented Srimati Radharani, who is the attraction for the all attractive. No one can match Srimati Radharani in the transcendental pastimes of Shri Krishna. So Prabhupada quotes Kaviraj Goswami is quoting the verse from Brahma Samhita. Anand Chinmaya Ras Pratibhavita Bhes Tabire Yo Eva Nij Rupa Tasya Kalabhi Golok Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Brahmaji in his prayer, he is submitting that I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who resides in his own realm Golok. Golok eva nivasati akhilatma bhuto. And how is he residing? He is residing with Rādhā. And what is the relation? He says, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the static potency Ladini. Their companions are her confidants, who embody extensions of her bodily forms. Who are these? All the gopis in Vrindavan. Their companions are his confidants, who embody extensions of her bodily form and who are imbued, permeated, ever blissful spiritual rasa. Krishnera karaya che rasa swadana vida rasa che suno vivarana. So now please listen how Lord Krishna's consort help him taste rasa and how they help him in his pastime. This is of course for Srimati Radharani. Krishna Kanta Gana Dekhi Trivida Prakar Ek Lakshmi Gana Pure Mahishi Ganaya Vrajangana Rupara Kanta Ganasar Śrī Radhika Hoite Kanta Ganera Vistar. So how Srimati Radharani is Adi Shakti and how all others, either they are in the Vaikuntha Lok, all the Lakshmis in the Vaikuntha Lok, they are Vistar, from whom Srimati Radharani. Or if there are queens, Mahishis in Dwarika, how many queens Lord Krishna had? 16,108. So all of them, they are from the expansion of Srimati Radharani. And all the Vrajanganas, all the Gopi Ganas, they are all Śrī Radhika Hoite Kanta Ganera Vistar. The beloved consorts of Lord Krishna are of three kinds. The goddess of fortune, which is in the Vaikuntha planets, the queens of Dwarika, and the milkmaids or the gopis of Vraja, who are the foremost of all. These consorts all proceed from Radhika. This is very important. She is the Adi Shakti from whom all these expansions takes place. Avatari Krishna Yaiche Kare Avatar Amshini Radha Haite Tina Ganera Vistar. So just as Krishna is the fountainhead, Lord Krishna is the cause of all incarnations. So Srimati Radha is the cause of all their consorts. So very clear. So all the Lakshmis in Vaikuntha Lok, they are all incarnations of Srimati Radharani. All the queens, they are also expansions of Srimati Radharani. And all the gopis in Vraja, they are also the expansions of Srimati Radharani. And what is their position? That is also explained here. Vaibhava Ganayena Tare Anga Vibhuti Bimba Prati Bimba Rupa Mahirshi Tati. The goddess of fortunes are partial manifestation of Srimati Radhika. All the Lakshmis are the partial representations. And what about the queens? They are like the reflection of her image. Bimba Pratibimba Rupa Mahirshi Ratat. So all the queens, the 16,108 queens which Krishna married, including the principal queen. Who is the principal queen in Dwarika? Very simple question. सुन रहे हैं आप लोग? Only one of you knows. No one knows who is the principal queen in Dwarika. Yes, Ravinder Bro. बोलिए.
Prabhuji Rukmani.
Rukmani Devi. So who is Rukmani Devi? Please try to understand. Rukmani Devi is the reflection. That's here it is mentioned. Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning that all the queens of Dwarika are reflections of her image, including Satyabhama and others. Lakshmi Ganatara Vaibhav Vilas Amsha Rupa Mahishi Gana Vaibhav Prakasha Swarupa. So there are two features. One is called the Vilas Rupa and the other is called the Prakash Rupa. The goddess of fortunes are her plenary portions and they display the form of Vaibhav Vilas. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhav Prakash. Just hear the terms. Don't get into understanding what does it mean. It will become more clear. Akara Swabhava Bheda Vraja Devi Gana Kaya Viva Rupa Tara Rasera Karana. The Braj Devis have diverse bodily features. They are her expansions. So now, after discussing two, what are the two which have been discussed? The queens of Vaikuntha Lok, the Lakshmis, and then the second, the queens in Dwarika. Now Kaviraj is explaining about the third, those who are the Vraja Gopikas. So the Vraja Devis have diverse bodily features. They are our expansions and are the instruments for expanding Rasha. So this is more personal. One was the incarnation and the other was only the reflection of image. But here, the Vraj Gopis are her personal expansions. Why? Because they are instruments for expanding rasa for Krishna. Bahukanta vinenahi rasera ullas lila rasa hai lagi bahuta prakar. Without many consorts, there is not such exaltation in rasa. Therefore, there are many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist in the Lord's pastime. This is a very important aspect, that why she has so many expansions. Why? Because without many consorts or without many numbers, there cannot be the exchange of rasa. So therefore, to exchange that rasa, that transcendental mellow, many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist the Lord in his pastime. Because Krishna is the enjoyer of the rasa, he is Rasaraj Shekhara. Tare madhe brajanana bhava rasa bhede Krishna ka karaye Ādi-līlā swade. So amongst them, among all the groups of consorts in Vraja, who have varieties of sentiments and mellows, and all of them, because they are the expansions of Srimati Radharani, they also have only one purpose. What is the purpose? The purpose, this is the purpose of Srimati Radharani, is they help Lord Krishna taste all the sweetness of the rasa dance and other pastimes. Krishna ke karaye Ādi-līlā swade. So Prabhupada says that, as already explained, Krishna and Radha are one in two. They are identical. Krishna expands himself in multi-incarnation and plenary portions, like the Purushas. Similarly, Srimati Radha Rani expands herself in multi-forms as the goddess of fortune. The queens of Dwarika and the damsels of Vraja. Such expansions from Srimati Radharani are all her plenary portions. All these womanly forms of Krishna are expansions corresponding to his plenary expansions of Vishnu form. These expansions have been compared to reflection forms, reflected forms of the original form. There is no difference between the original form and the reflected form. The female reflections of Krishna's pleasure potency are as good as Krishna's himself. Very, very revolutionary statement. Prabhupada says the female reflections of Krishna's pleasure potential. What is the pleasure potential? Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani's reflection are as good as Krishna himself. The plenary expansion of Krishna's personality are called Vaibhav Vilas and Vaibhav Prakash. And Radharani's expansions are similarly described. The goddess of fortune are her Vaibhav Vilas forms, and the queens are her Vaibhav Prakash form, Vaibhav Vilas and Vaibhav Prakash. The personal associates of Radharani, the damsels of Vraja, are direct expansions of her body. As expansion of her personal form and transcendental disposition, they are agents of different reciprocations of love in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So why there is so much of expansion and why there is so much of division, it is on the basis of the bhava, on the basis of the transcendental mood. And Srimati Radharani's mood is the pinnacle, the topmost, the highest. In the transcendental realm, enjoyment is fully relished in variety. The exuberance of transcendental mellow is increased by the association of large number of personalities. This is very, very important statement. That why there is so much of expansion, why Krishna has to expand, and why Srimati Radharani has to in turn expand more. What is the reason? So Prabhupada is quoting here. He says the exuberance of transcendental mellows is increased by the association of large number of personalities similar to Radharani. That is why there were so many gopis just to fulfill this pastimes. So all these personalities similar to Radharani, who are also known as gopis or sakhis. The variety of innumerable mistress is the source of relish for Shri Krishna. And therefore, these expansions of Srimati Radharani are necessary for enhancing the pleasure potency of Shri Krishna. Their transcendental exchanges of love are the super excellent affairs of the pastimes in Vrindavan. By these expansions of Srimati Radharani, personal body, she helps Lord Krishna taste the rasa dance, and other similar activities. Srimati Radharani, being the central petal of the Rasa flower, is also known by the names found in the following verses. So now the reason for her expansion is mentioned. Now, very beautiful verse, the verse to memorize. Govinda Anandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasya Sarva Kanta Shiromani. Yet Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. That is the meaning of the word Rādhā. That which brings joy and bliss to Krishna. So Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. And she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She attracts, she captivates Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda, and the crest jewel of all his consorts. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is the direct counterpart of Lord Shri Krishna. This is another very deep revelation by Srila Prabhupada. That she is the direct counterpart. And what kind of counterpart is Srimati Radharani? Prabhupada explains in many of his purports. What kind of counterpart is Srimati Radharani of Krishna? Anyone remembers Prabhupada's statement? She is the tender-hearted. Prabhupada writes that she is the tender-hearted feminine counterpart of Lord Shri Krishna. She is the central figure for all goddess of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval eternal potency of the Lord. This is from Bharat Gautami Tantra. Devi kahi dyotamana parama sundari kimva Krishna puje kida vasati nagari. Devi means resplendent and most beautiful. or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. Krishnamai Krishna Yara Bhitare Bahire Yaha Yaha Netra Pade Taha Taha Spure Krishna Taha Spure Yaha Yaha Netra Pade Taha Krishna Spure. Krishnamai means one who is within and without our Lord Krishna. As we were discussing, Krishnamai means that her constitution, her composition is all only one. That is to increase the love of Krishna. She sees Lord Krishna everywhere. She can cast her glance. Kimva Prema Rasmai Krishne Rasvarupa Tara Shakti Tara Saha Hoye Kurupa. Or Krishnamai means that she is identical with Lord Krishna, for she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. Prabhupada explains the purport. Krishnamai has two different imports. First, a person who always thinks of Krishna, both within and without, and who always remembers only Krishna. Wherever he goes, or whatever he sees, is called Krishnamai. Also, since Krishna's personality is full of love, his loving potency Radharani, being non-different from him, is called Krishnamai. So there are two ways. One is that one who is always thinking of Krishna, one who is always thinking of increasing the joy and bliss and pleasure of Krishna, and who always remembers only Krishna. That is one aspect. And the second is that one is non-different. So Srimati Radharani qualifies on both. She is Krishnamai also, and she is non-different from Krishna. Krishna Vancha Purti Rupa Kare Aradhane Ate Radhika Nama Purane Vakhane. Her worships Aradhana Krishna Vancha Purti Rupa Kare Asmara. Her worship consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, all the Puranas call her Radhika. Yesterday we discussed what does Radhika means. The name Rādhā is derived from the root word Aradhana, which means worship. The personality who excels all in the worshipping Krishna may therefore be called Radhika, the greatest servitor. So Radhika also means one who is the highest, or one who has the best form of worship for Lord Krishna. Anya Radhika Nunam Bhagavan Haririshwara Yanno Vihai Govinda Pritoyam Anayadraha. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is in reference Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is said by that truly the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Anya Aradhika Nunam. Truly the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore, Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lovely spot, leaving us all behind. So this text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-28. Why this is being mentioned? That this is from the Ras dance, from the Ras Pancha Adhyaya. When Krishna left all the gopis and he was alone with Srimati Radharani. So this text is mentioning that. Ateva sarva pujya param devata Sarvapalika Sarva Jagate Ramata. Therefore, Radha is Param Devata. She is the supreme goddess and she is worshipable for everyone. She is the protectress of all and she is the mother of the entire universe. So I will stop here. We will take further tomorrow from 90th verse. So to some extent, we discussed or we found out that what is the position of Srimati Radharani. So today, what was the main discovery? That she is the one from whom all the goddesses of fortune are come. So she is the Adi Shakti. Krishna is Adi Purusha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Matta Partagam Nanyat Kinchit Asti Bhayandya. There is no truth which is higher than Krishna. But there is one truth, one tattva which is higher than Krishna. And that is the Rādhā. And Krishna also accepts that he does not understand the bhav, the mood of Śrīmati Radha. So he has to come here again to accept the mood of Śrīmati Radha and to understand what is the position of Śrīmati Radha. Okay, so I'm stopping here. If there is any question or any discussion, you may please ask or initiate. बोलिए राधा रानी की आज कुछ भी you can glorify Srimati Radharani. Today is Rādhā Aṣṭamī. Don't hesitate. I don't see any response coming, so I will end here. So on this day, let us all very sincerely seek the blessings and mercy of Srimati Radharani, so that we can get her merciful plans, her blessings, so that we can become determined in our practice and progress. Hare Krishna. Shri Rādhā Aṣṭamī Mahamahotsav ki jai. Śrī Caitanya-Caritāmṛta ki jai.